Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing Frog's Tribal. And I gotta say, this deck is hard to master, but fun to play. I had to play it 10 times before I could even start recording for the first time, because it is so complex and weird. If that sounds like the kind of deck that you love to play, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, legally the Emperor of Massachusetts after I beat Charles Nelson Riley in an arm wrestling match, Dr. Yukon Suck It. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by the MTGA-Assistant-Meta, called Simic. Yeah, the deal is that I've been playing a few days now, and I've been getting my butt beat by frogs a bunch, and I find them to be really effing annoying. And the one thing I always tell myself is some deck just pisses you off, you should just play it, because then you'll learn to love it, because obviously it's awesome for the person that's playing it. The only thing about frogs is that they end up jumping in and out a bunch. Like you put them out, they come back to your hand. They jump into the battlefield, back into your hand again. They do that a lot. And so if that's not for you, then this isn't the deck for you. But if you happen to be the kind of guy that loves playing tricksy stuff, and you love making cards go in and out and in and out and all over the place, then this might be the deck for you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here? We got a card that, oh, look at that, exiles a creature you control, then puts it right back into the battlefield. And if it's a frog, you draw a card. Cool. What does this guy do? You put him out. He's a 2/2, and then during the upkeep, you have to return a creature you control to its owner's hand, unless it's the Mistbreath Elder, in which case you can choose not to. This guy comes into play, and you put a Popo counter on a target creature, and you gain 1 life. So yeah, these two get along great together. You put this guy out, then you put this guy out, and then on your upkeep, you bounce this guy back to your hand, and you put him out again, putting that Popo counter back onto this guy. So this helps pump this guy up like crazy, as well as he pumps himself out by bouncing this guy back to your hand. So he'll start growing like crazy. This guy, he says whenever a frog enters the battlefield, you put a Popo counter on him. So you get these two guys out, you put this guy out, and they just start growing like nuts. Let's see, Dour Port-Mage. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, you draw a card. And then you can choose to return target creature you control to its owner's hand. So this guy will help you do a little card draw. This guy, whenever Tree Scribe or another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, you put a Popo counter on a target creature you control. So you can see we're bouncing dudes back to our hands. We're pumping up a couple of guys like crazy. This guy's got trample. What do we do with this guy? Drawing cards whenever he comes into the battlefield. This is a guy that's, you just want to, like, this guy's a 0/2. Like, who cares, man? Bring him back to your hand. And he only costs 1 to put out. You can just keep bouncing him, putting him out, bouncing him, putting him out, drawing cards, whatever you do. What does the long River Lurker do? Frogs get ward. And when he enters the battlefield, a target creature you control cannot be blocked. And you could, whenever a creature deals combat damage this turn, you may exile it if you do return to the battlefield under your own control. So it depends on who you're sending through. So you got a lot of guys built up on counters. I wouldn't do that to them. I might do it to somebody else. Clement, the Worrywort. What is he? A 3/3 vigilance. Whenever this or another creature you control enters, return up to 1 target creature you control with less mana than to the value to its owner's hand. Yeah, you could totally do this guy most likely. Frogs you control have mana. You tap for a blue or a green. Spend only to cast creature spells. Guess what, man? You got like 99% creature spells. And then we got the Dreamdew Believer. Reach 3/4. When you enters battlefield, tap one target creature, put 3 stun counters on it. And if you can tap your own dude, you can draw 2 cards. Because if you're just going to blow them back to your hand, what does it matter if you tap them or not, right? Or else you can start pinning your opponent's creatures down. The thing is you can't play this guy for free. But if you got, and he costs 4, so you can only do it so much. But if you happen to have 8 mana, you could put him out, pass him back, put him out. You can pin down 2 guys per turn. It's pretty dang awesome. What do we got over here? We got a bunch of Bloomburrow lands, which come out fast. But they're only good for their color mana if you're playing a creature spell, which is no problem for us. And you could use this one to pump up with popo counters on each frog that entered the battlefield this turn. The blue one says Surveil 2, activate only if a frog entered the battlefield this turn. What else do we got here? Comes out fast if it's one of the first 3. If it's one of the first 3, you can pick frog for this one, and then they can't be countered. And that's it. All right, so what are we doing? We're putting out our frogs. We're trying to get them out in the right order, which is Mistbreath Elder and then some other guys. You get this guy out only provided that you don't have this guy out because you don't want to bounce him back. But if you put him out early, you can start growing them with these other guys. Yeah, these are the 2. They're awesome when they're out together, provided you got other guys, but you don't want to play them together at the same time. Anyways, and then other than that, you just keep going and you just bounce back whatever you want to play next. Use your mana to play those things a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 20th time. Pin, and just come in with a trample to kill. Hopefully that'll do it. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against Rufasu. All right. This guy is crazy because he forces guys to get kicked back to your hand, right? You have to put guys. I mean, he won't put himself out. Oops, I played that wrong. All right, here we go. He's going to sit there and be all dumb all the time. All right, let's put this guy out. He's a good combo with him. Draw me a card. All right, you just be focused on your infrastructure a little too much. We're going aggro, baby. Let's go, Joe. We're slamming it out. Oh, yeah, you're a good guy. You're on the guy that actually has legs. I'll tell you, I don't care. Do I really want to bounce the ballot? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring this guy back in. Back on the bench, ball. Wait, he's back out. Let's go ahead and give it to the guy with trample. All right, we got enough to kill him. Does that cost 2 to eat? Yeah, it does. Gains 3 life for eating his cake. His carrot cake. One. This This gonna trample? No, I don't think so. It's just life. Keep it going. We're loaded. Let's just slip that through if we can. He might just sacrifice it, but I think he's dead. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. You, my friend, are going to get a little bit stronger, possibly. There's a guy out, we could just tap it down. Just trying to get his life pumped up. There we go. We have enough to, let's just do this. Let's put this guy out. Tap that guy down forever. We got enough for all of them. Give it to the guys with legs. And we win! Suck it, Rufasu! Rufasu! Suck it! Alright, we're playing against Krawali. Krawali. 2 mana. Alright, we'll keep it. I mean, these guys combo up nicely. Think of a 4th man, these guys just start pinging people down. I like that. Frog. Let's use the Riveter. It's the Sunshower Druid. I don't know what you're grabbing, man. I can make something unblockable. Yeah, you don't like that guy, do you? There we go. Welcome back. For a guy I'm just going to be bouncing in and out, I should have just gone for the Sunshower Druid. Don't be a jerk. No, decline. We will not exile him. He's my favorite good boy. I was seeing this. This one looks good. Alright, come on. I'm looking for number 4 here. Alright, so we got 3. What can we do? Let's put this guy out. Pop it. Pop it like it's hot. Still nothing as far as the mana is concerned. Alright, he's down to 5. We can always throw out a River Lurker. Come in and just get him so he can't even block. He's going to probably gain more than I could probably get this guy pumped. Question is, how much is it going to happen here? Here's 6. Here's 7. All right, cool. We got him. All right, River Lurker. That's all I need, baby, right there. Can't be blocked. Touchdown, Lava Bears. Victory! Alright, we are playing against MintBerryPunch. MintBerryPunch is fun to eat. What do we got here? A couple little jerks. And we'll see if we draw anything better along the way. Keep. It's part of this delicious breakfast treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Alright, Sunshower. Look at him. Mighty Sunshower Druid. Looking all awesome. I had 2. What's this guy gonna do? He's a lord. And back in the olden days, you could put out lords that affected your opponents as well. It was just crazy. Come at me, brah. Alright, this guy, see, he'll start me on this weird path if I do this guy right now. He has the best potential for actually growing. If I do this, I could just send Red Rover through. What are you doing there, Rabbit Princess? Alright, stay tapped like that. That's a good boy. Why didn't you get that Mistbreath Elder out now? I can start bouncing that Dreamdew Enchancer in and out. Entrancer. That'll be super cool. Block 1, man. Boy, for frogs, this is going super slow. I don't like it when they think like this. Yeah, picking up a 5th mana would be really great. Sorry, chump. Make sure you got to chump it. There's our 5th mana. Alright, put this dude out. Alright, you can double up on somebody if you really wanted to. All right, what are you going to do, Rabbit Princess? I mean, you got 4 mana. You got stuff you're going to do. I'll just have to pin that guy down. That's okay. I'm just going to pin somebody else down now. Nope, we're fine. Have a good time. Who's going to get pinned down? That guy. Y'all want to bounce anybody else back while I'm at it? Let's just go in for the attack. Perhaps your mouse should stand still. Let's do that. Ooh, he's doubling up. All right, he's down to 6. Does anybody want to bounce back here? This guy's not doing me any good sitting there right now. Oh yeah, no, he'll come in and come back out. All right, we're all done. So he's got 1 guy he can actually attack with. And he's got 3 guys to block with. That sucks. All right, so he's going to bounce somebody back. I can bounce somebody in. How much mana I got? 1, 4. I got 2 more. Really just need to make a couple, like some people in. Unblockable's not going to help out. See, Little Boy Blue here is... Let's just take him out. Pin. Let's give you some beef. There we go. Can't believe you're doing that, man. It's down to 3. Yeah, so his guys are coming back. We got to beam back in Entrancer. Got to pop it back in. Get rid of that host. Yes, these guys are too strong. He's got guys. We're just top decking wherever we can top deck here. I can't believe he's doing that, huh? I'm down to 7. That sucks. All right, you can block 1. Good job, Druid. You did your duty there. Congratulations. Victory! And we're playing against PSNPCTECHSLICE. What does that spell? Like PC Tech Slice? PlayStation News, PC Tech Slice? Sure, something like that. All right, we've only got green here. Let's mulligan. Keep it, and we'll get rid of a splash portal. And this is cool, except for I can't put out the Elder with it. These guys don't get along well. All right, well, I can bounce that guy back now. Now they get along just fine. Let's just leave it. We can keep that for later. You think he's going to sit there and just try to pin all my guys down? Bounce him. There we go. All right, one dude in. And let's draw a card. All right, so card draw is great. Now, the worst part is if he got rid of my Prophet and maybe bounced back my Mightcaller. That would senior suck. Yeah, I'm no block. I don't trust this guy. He's gonna do something kooky. There you go. Out and back in. Let's put it on Trample Boy 10,000 and send them all in. All right, that's 10 to the face. You're at 9, suckerfish. I'm at 6. He's back up to 12. All right, that's fine. We'll put this out. What can we do with this? We can win the game. Oh, we had more than 12. All right. I didn't need to count. Victory! All right, so here we are with Frogs Tribal. And I got to say, this deck to me is exhausting. I got a friend named Scott. That dude is going to love this deck. He loves it when cards are coming in, coming out, jumping all over the place. Yeah, man, he's going to love Frogs if he isn't already playing it himself. To me, I found this to be just so exhausting to play it. Now, number one, it was a great deck. It did incredibly good. I probably didn't do it justice by playing it in casual. I ended up with like a 75% win rate. This thing was just all over the place. I'm quite surprised that people didn't have more removal. I kind of feel like the game match engine just kept putting me into situations where I didn't have to mess around with removal very much. Board wipe would be a problem potentially. I mean, there's nothing but creatures in here. I just keep putting more cheap dudes out. But there you go. Like, the weird part about it is that this thing is aggro and it's cheap, but you keep bouncing your guys back, so you just don't really grow up like that wide board stance you kind of expect. But you do have a guy with Trample, and he loves it when stuff comes into play. So I'm surprised he lives as much as he does. That's the big thing about this particular deck. All right, so anyways, let's give it a call. Let's just see. Who was the MVP, the most valuable player in this deck? You really needed to have something that kept bouncing stuff back to your hand. And that was really the engine that made this deck work. And you had a few cards like Splash Portal to make you do it. In reality, it was Mistbreath Elder. That guy was the engine because he's the one that kept it going. I mean, if you get out the Mightcaller, sure. You start throwing out other dudes, they pump them up. That's great. But this guy keeps punching him back. So he pushes back the Prophet. allows you to draw cards. You push back the Sunshower Druid, which allows you to just keep putting popo counters and gaining life. Or turning back the Dreamdew Entrancer. These guys are all words I can't say yet. Entrancer. Yeah, so you can play it again. Yeah, that's the deal. To be able to reuse your cards, you needed to bounce them back. You had that in the Mistbreath Elder, and I think in this guy, he can kind of do it for you in a pinch. But everything else worked very well. You know, you had a good amount of tricks in it, and it was a lot of in, out, thinking about constantly what you were going to do, shifting things around. I was barely paying attention to the game just because I was moving the frogs around so much. Anyway, so there you go. We're going to give it to the Mistbreath Elder. For this particular deck, you were the MVP. Congratulations. You were going to Disneyland. All right, like I said, this was a 75% win rate, so I believe this is a competitive deck. Do I believe it'll do well on the ladder? Yeah, probably it will. I didn't play it there, but yeah, I bet you it probably will. I think I picked this up off of Aether Hub. It had like a 70-odd% win rate there. I bet you the people that made it right there probably were on the ladder. I think it's a competitive deck. I'm going to say check. Was this deck fun? It was aggro, so therefore I had a good time with it. I enjoyed some of the tricks I was playing, but man, it was like having to ride a bike uphill. It was just exhausting. So yeah, it was cool, but I'm going to say it wasn't quite the deck for me. I'm not sure I'll ever play it again, just because unless I really like seeing tricksy tribal functions happen over and over again, just to having to constantly keep my mind on what was happening and what was the right card to do in the right situation, it was just a lot. So I'm going to say midland when it comes to the fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of exhaustion. Was this deck interesting? Yeah, absolutely it was. It was way interesting. Why? Because I think the entire thing is from Bloomburrow. Every card in here, you know, like lands, maybe not. But even then, yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of Bloomburrow lands as well. This is a full-on example of a Bloomburrow deck, which is a few extra lands pushed in for fun. Yeah, that was interesting. Seeing Frogs Tribal do its thing. Yeah, absolutely. Trying to learn how to bounce this thing. I played this deck 10 times before I started recording it, just because I didn't understand what the best cards were to put out at first. Like, who was the one that made things happen? What were you looking for when you needed to mulligan or not? It took me a long time to learn how to play this deck. I'm an aggro player, man. I don't need that. I like playing mono red. I know it's just set things on fire and attack with the dudes you got. Hopefully they have prowess. That's what I feel like I need. This deck, it's using too much of your brain, and it's near the end of the day for me. I just don't have the brain for that. Anyways, was it interesting? Absolutely, it was interesting. It was completely interesting. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Yes. Was it exhausting? Yes. So I'm just going to give it a straight A. Exhausting was too much. That's my final. I think you should try playing this deck at least once. That's exactly why I did it, is because I've been getting my butt beat by frogs. And I said, I got to play it at least once. This is probably my one time doing it. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.